Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. It's me, Cobra Commander TFW, and I'm back from the island of Mikey. I'm joined by him this week as, we're both here, we're both alive. So how are you doing, Mikey?
I'm not sure alive is how I describe myself.
How would you describe yourself? What's Mikey's being?
On the other side of it.
On the other side, you mean?
Yeah, on the other side. Yeah, it was a bad week. There was a lot of, lying in bed going like, let me die! Take me, Lord! And the Lord going, no.
We do not want you.
Cut to heaven. Look at him. Yeah, it was an interesting week.
Yeah. Did you receive any chocolate eggs this week, Mikey? Or today, as it is the day of Jesus?
The day of Jesus. Mm-hmm. Technically, it's the day where people went like, fuck, where's Jesus?
Is he in his cave? Nah, he's gone.
Who moved this rock? I left this rock here. Who moved this rock? Maybe if you put him in a hole.
There you go.
That's why they started burying people. They're like, right, we put them in the hole, we filled the hole, they ain't coming back from that.
I mean, to be fair, it seems really inconvenient to throw people in a cave. Like, is it like one person per cave?
Not that many caves, I suppose. There
That's
must be,
the thing, yeah.
Piles of, bags full of people in caves somewhere in the Middle East.
Oh, that sounds bleak, doesn't it?
Yeah. Or, somewhere in, ancient Israel, there's just, this body cave, and just, that's where we put the poor folk.
There's a lot of bones.
This has stopped being a joke and kind of moved into probably a sad reality, hasn't it?
Maybe. I don't know, because I don't know what the burial rituals were of people from back then.
Neither do I, actually. If you know, ladies and gentlemen, what the Judaic burial rituals sort of turn of the century were, and whether Jesus would have been given his own individual cave, or if everyone would have one cave, or if the cave thing was even a real, not a real thing, a regular thing, if was that a uniquely we're putting Jesus in a cave thing. Also, I hope I'm not insulting anyone with strong religious beliefs. I'm literally just asking a question.
Yeah, I don't think you should be. Right. Questions are questions.
One way or the other, we know he was in a cave.
Yeah, and that's about as much as I know.
Yeah. I read the Bible when I was a child, and I stopped reading it after I realized they took all the pictures out.
That was it. There's no pictures. We're done.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's how I would have been as well.
Because we had a Bible in our classroom, and it was a big, chunky thing with a really, really nice cover, like horsemen riding or something like that. I remember flicking through it and just going there's nothing here. It's just words.
Nonsense.
None of these people make any sense. Salt? She turned to salt?
I want a picture of it.
Yeah, I want to see someone turn to salt. Maybe not the bit in the Bible where he lets his daughters get raped multiple times. I don't want pictures of that.
No.
But maybe the salt pillars.
You know what you need for the person getting turned to salt? Off in the background, man with a bag of Walker's crisps. It's Gary Lineker. He's just going to dip his crisps into that pile of salt. They're like, Gary Lineker, man. What are you doing here? I am the Walkers.
Gary Lineker does what Gary Lineker does.
I gotta salt my crisps.
Then he flaps his ears and flies away.
Yeah. He's like, well, this is where the original term for salting the land came from. People being turned to salt. I don't think that's true. Well, I'm not a story. Yeah,
just
Gary
kicks
Lineker.
a football at you and runs away.
Gary
Lineker!
The fiendish Gary Lineker. Mr. Mikey, it's been it's literally been a week since you were last on, and I decided was it 2 weeks? Oh, well, there you go. There's no news this week. We have
Not
4
a
stories.
shred.
4 stories, which we've scrabbled together. So, kicking off, I suppose, with Bumblebee movie model kits by Trumpeter, who I've never heard of.
Yeah, me neither.
I do not know who they are or where they come from. But they've shared images of non-transformable Bumblebee model kits. And we've got a few images of Bumblebee, Blitzwing, Optimus Prime, and Shatter. According to the comments on Capcom Kai's Instagram, which is the Twitter user that shared these images. These figures are around 15 and 10 centimeters tall. Once assembled, they will be released by Trumpeter. Once assembled, they will be. Okay.
From what I can see, Trumpeter do like high grade military model kits.
Oh, this is a weird swing, then, isn't it?
Yeah, which makes me wonder, and also suspect that these are more model statues than model action figures. Just looking through their catalog right now, they do not have articulation experience.
But they're so No, because if you look at the case display, there's the Bumblebee on the top shelf on the left and one on the right with a slight different pose to it.
Are we sure it's the same Bumblebee?
I can't imagine they'll do one Bumblebee with a very slight different leg pose and the arms in the same position. That'd be weird. That'd be real weird.
And I'm assuming is that Katakana?
No, I don't think so. I don't think this is a Japanese company, if that's what you're asking.
Don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know my Asian languages, pictographs, or whatever you call them. It's difficult for me to read.
Mm-hmm.
I get the basic sentence structure, but that's about it. Bumblebee's painted in the middle, and they do not zoom in on him, and that's annoying.
Is that the same one? Because that one, to me, that one looks smaller than the two behind him.
They're on taller plinths, I think.
I don't know.
But I really do hope that these are posable, because, hey, model kits are always good.
Yes.
But also, if this is a model kit, why do these still have the wings? They're smaller wings, but they're still there.
Well, they were in the movie, weren't they?
No, they weren't.
Weren't they?
No, no. It's been months. You've had time.
Yeah, but you've seen all of the official products from Hasbro. They all have wings.
An official third-party one that came out without the fucking wings.
That's third party. That's not official, though.
This is third-party.
It's probably licensed somewhat.
So is that.
Nah, not really, though. You're quite right. It is weird for him to have. Maybe you can just pop the wings off, and
I hope so.
It doesn't make a difference. Maybe it just leaves a small hole, and hopefully they're not like integral, like built into the thing, so you can't remove them. I don't know. Depends on how the kits work. The other kits that were shown, at least the three on the middle shelf here, are all like plastic 2D cutouts, which is interesting.
There's a physical one. There's some physical ones at the bottom.
Yeah, are they different?
So Blitzwing and Shatter have physical prototypes.
Mm.
But we've also got 2D cutouts of Blitzwing and Shatter. But Dropkick, his one is only a cutout.
Well,
and
there
him
you
and
go.
Prime. Yeah. What do you think of these?
I think I would, if I'm gonna buy a model kit, I'd rather go with Code of Akira or Flame Toys or someone established, and also not movie designs. So there's always going to be that biased part of me, which is like I don't really care for movie designs. And this is a company who you said, because I don't know, but you've mentioned seem to primarily do army stuff. And haven't really done anything posable, so that would also make me a tiny bit worried. What about yourself? To me, this seems like a bit of an interesting leap for the company.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch for them. It's definitely one I'd be cautious of. Like most military, because I've known people who build like stuff like Trumpeter I'm not sure if it's by the same company, but same kind of stuff, and they're not quite as heavy duty as action figure ones tend to be.
I mean, that makes sense because
they're
at least with the action kind of robot ones, you would expect people to kind of sort of play with them, I guess, in a sense.
Like if you build a tank, the expectation is you're using modeling glue, you're putting it together, you're putting it on the shelf, and you're saying, "I'm glad I did that."
Yep.
Whereas, I'm not supposed to be posing a tank. Like maybe you can have a rotatable turret. I would be very cautious about this kind of figure if it's articulated being a first time. I'm also like the aesthetic for a couple of them, especially Bumblebee. I'm a little about like it's not just he's using the old design. He's also seems to have a lot more gappiness than I've seen in that design before, and the chest seems weirdly flat. I don't know. I want to see him colored. He might look better colored, but I'm very, very cautious of these.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to stand on these. I mean, maybe you want to go in and want to be a first-time buyer, and that's cool as well. You can let
if
us
these
know.
are 15 quid, go for it.
Yeah, we don't have a price on them as well, so we've no idea if these are going to be super cheap, middle of the range price, or stupid expensive. So who knows? Mikey!
Yes.
Last bit of Japanese news.
Yeah,
Only bit of Japanese news.
Over on Takaratomi Mall, they've uploaded the Generation Select Star Convoy web comic manga. So this is a 2-page comic, which will, it's one of those preview comics for whatever's coming out next. And we don't have a full translation, but I have sort of a general overview of what's going on. And what seems to be that after 2011, so after Headmasters, it's like a retelling of Battlestars in a way, right?
So it's not the Sakamoto universe?
No.
Okay.
Or if it is, it's sort of one of those stories that's taking place before Combiner Wars.
Right. Okay.
So who knows? But he is drawing it by the looks of it, and presumably wrote it. So in 2011, they're having a fight, and they get sucked into another dimension, Galvatron and Optimus, by someone. Galvatron thinks they're both dead, and then they're told that, no, you're not, and they're shown the future that's coming, right? So this is a future with Galvatron, and what appears to be some sort of weird Unicron-esque thing. Not Violent Jiger.
Not Unicron?
Not a Cron. Heart of Darkness.
Right.
We'll call it the Void, right? So,
Ooh.
Yeah. So they're shown the Earth, and they're shown that the whole place is being destroyed, and it turns out they've been summoned by Primus, who wants them to use the Silver Matrix to use the power of the stars to set things right. So Galvatron, being Galvatron, just sort of stands there watching while Optimus is reformatted into his new Star Convoy form. He combines with his trailer, puts the Matrix into the big gun, and shoots the weird Unicron thingy. Galvatron contributes by smashing a bunch of what I'm assuming are little viruses together.
Okay.
And then, the sort of comic ends with Star Convoy considering the Matrix and what's going, like, they have to keep fighting. And also, Galvatron may be being set up to make contact with someone who'll make him quite super. Thanks for asking.
Hey.
I
remember
it's
that
not,
reference.
Yeah, it's not the most detailed one.
Right.
But it looks very pretty.
It's not the Sakamoto style that I have come to love. It's good though, It's,
Are we sure it's Sakamoto, not like Naoto Tsushima or something?
You said it was Sakamoto, and
I thought it was Sakamoto, but now I'm looking at the art style again, and I'm thinking maybe it's Tsushima.
Because it doesn't have that Sakamoto look
Madness.
to it, really. Yeah, and it's got very different coloring as well, with maybe a little bit overboard on the light reflectiveness. Like the shin of Super Convoy is like I would imagine it'd be like chrome material. That's how it's been detailed with the color, and it's a bit too much for my personal taste.
Yeah, people are saying in the thread it's not Sakamoto, and if I'm guessing if they're sticking with an established Transformers artist, you're probably looking at Naoto Tsushima or Kiss Player's Guy for that style.
I don't think it's Kiss Player's Guy.
He does draw that style, based on
does.
his Mazinger cover.
Yeah, I don't know.
He is still there.
Yeah.
He won't leave. They changed the locks and everything.
The comic doesn't seem to be that interesting or weird.
No. Or that reference heavy either.
No. It seems almost too short. Like, I feel it needed a bit more oomph to it, a bit more explanation of what's going on.
I don't know, it's weird. Maybe more will come with the actual toy.
Maybe. Well, I'd hope so, at least. Has to.
Which is, of course, available on Hasbro Pulse, guys.
When? Now? Not now?
No, pre-order is.
Okay.
But you can't buy it now. Don't be a fool.
Don't
be a fool, Andy.
Too late, foolish endeavours.
Do you want to take us on to our other bit of raging news?
You mean the last two bits of news? Because I may as well do these last two bits as they're both convention news.
Raging.
We'll kick off with TFCon, as we have an announcement for the Toronto convention in July, from the 12th to the 14th in Toronto land. That's Kanagia. We have special guest Stephen Keener. Kenner? See?
Keener.
You don't know either.
Keener, because Kenner has two N's.
Yeah. Okay, Keener. Who was the voice of Fortress Maximus, Hardhead, Hungar, Mindwipe, Scattershot, and Scorponok.
I didn't realize they had the same voice actor.
Nor did I, but I guess that makes sense.
Also, he basically voiced two of the most forgettable characters in season 3. Like, he is almost exclusively a Rebirth guy.
Which characters do you mean are forgettable?
Hunger and Scattershot were not memorable.
I mean, not in terms of their voices, because they really didn't say a huge amount. They only really had, like, a few episodes where they actually did anything.
Hunger growled.
He did talk as well.
Did he?
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember him talking.
Yeah, he talked in, I think, Grimlock's New Brain.
Oh, no, I remember. He talked when he said, Terracons fight everybody.
Yes. Return of Optimus
Call
Prime?
of the Primitives.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he talked in Return of Optimus Prime as well, when they crippled the lady right at the start, when they're going for the oars, if you remember that bit.
Yeah, I was just looking. Stephen Keener. Wow!
As he got a bit more
Andy,
of an impressive load of credentials than just Transformers.
So he is a classically trained actor, right?
Okay.
What would you think is, like, how many actor credits do you think are his?
Well, since you said wow, I'm going to say more than I would anticipate.
Make a guess.
Can you at least give me a ballpark, like where to aim for?
No, I'm leaving this to you.
20.
No.
Okay, it's more, right?
1. He has, in terms of television and movie acting, he has done exactly 1 show.
Really? Oh.
And it's Transformers.
Really?
His Wikipedia page now. Mm-hmm. Stephen Keener, June 17, 1940, is a former classically trained actor who provided the voice of various characters in the later seasons of Transformers. That's it. That is it. So presumably he's more a stage actor, but...
Well, that makes sense, if he's a classically trained actor.
But what got him doing Transformers? Wow, I actually kind of want to meet him now, because I'm just like, so what? This is clearly a weird blip in your life.
Yeah, it sounds it.
Yeah, so how did this come about?
Hopefully people will find out and let us know, or put up something on the internet at least. Because I'm interested. I'd like to know. So he's going to TFCon, and we also have for TF Nation, Brian Drummond.
Yay!
Who was the voice of Beast Machine's Jetfire. Evil Jetfire. Jetstorm. Yeah, Jetstorm.
Shock Blast.
From Armada from Energon, right? Or Shockwave, as he was always also called. He was Blur as well in Armada. I didn't know that.
Oh god, he was Australian Jetfire.
Which one was Blur in Armada?
The blue one.
I'm trying to think. I can remember Sideswipe, and he was shit. I can't actually remember what Blur looked like in Armada. I'm going to have a look, because it's been a long time since... I'll probably go, oh yeah, it's that one. Of course it is. And more famously, he's known for being Vegeta in Dragon Ball.
Vegeta
yes.
English.
Yes, agreed.
So
any thoughts there, Mikey?
Cool. Yeah, no, I think it's good. Like, he's very, very prolific in anime circles.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
Blur. Oh, yeah, he's got the stupid door shoulders. That's right. He had the ninja look. Yeah.
I'm just like, his credits are more than 20. He was who was he in X-Men Evolution? He was Hunter and Julian Bordeaux. But yeah, he has been in so many things.
Yeah,
and
lots.
Games and animes and animation and everything. So like, he's prominent. But yeah, Vegeta, like, it's the ocean dub of Vegeta that Andy and I grew up on.
Yes.
I think objectively he does a better job at capturing the character and making him sinister, because I think Sabat's one, partly because of how Funimation really hasn't evolved beyond in terms of its script. Like, in terms of script writing, it is better, but their approach to script writing is still somewhat that, at least with Dragon Ball, that 90s what can we change. So they've made Vegeta into a bit of a bully boy even now.
Yeah.
And a lot, like, I checked out some of the super dub in the last couple of days.
Okay.
And Vegeta is meaner in the dub than he is in the original anime.
Oh.
And like, I remember thinking, like, if Drummond was doing these lines, they would come across with a lot more pep and a bit more life to them. And Sabat just sounds like, oh, I'm just a dickhead. And they changed lines as well. I think they're kind of trying to match the character to the performance now. So the lines they've changed, like things where Vegeta in the original thing was saying something gruff but well-meaning.
Yeah.
Is now like just asshole-ish and accidentally helpful. So, but yeah, Brian Drummond, cool.
Yeah, definitely.
No one asked him a Transformers question.
Why not?
Because it's funnier that way.
But
he's just here like he's really proud.
known.
He's really proud of Jetstorm. Like, he was so proud of what he did, but he'd really love to talk about it. I was just like, so what's it like not being real Vegeta? No, I want to talk to Jetstorm. Say over 9,000.
No. Oh, no. You know that's going to happen. Oh, no. If I hear that, and I probably will, I will cringe. Just walking past, I'll go, oh, oh, don't.
Yeah.
But then again, I've never been a big fan of when anybody. It's well within your right to do it, but I've always never felt good about hearing someone who's in a crowd say the thing that you said in the show, say the line, do the thing. It's like, oh, I don't like
monkey.
it. Yeah, that's how it. To me, I mean, again, people can do what they like. You know, they paid money to go and see the actors and stuff, but it does to me very much feel like a monkey dance kind of thing, and it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Throwing pennies at him.
Yeah. It's why I don't like it as well when voice actors who do interviews almost feel like they have to do the voice, because again, it's whenever we've done interviews, I've always wanted to just be like, you don't need to put on a show. You just be yourself.
Yeah,
just
we're
be
more
yourself.
interested in you.
Yes, you the person rather than you the floaty voice that doesn't exist. But that's me again. You know. That's the way Andy do.
Yep.
Anything else there, Mikey, or is that it? Because I'm pretty sure I got nothing else to say.
Issue 1 of the comic is being reprinted.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Transformers ID. What are we calling this?
Apparently, the in-house name is Transformers 2019.
Okay.
Original. But yeah, issue 1 sold out, and it's now being reprinted. Issue 3 came out this last week.
Okay.
We're still waiting on issue 4 before we review. Like we said before, the reviewing schedule is just going to be a bit whack for a bit until they even out. Yeah,
I have a feeling it's not going to be they even out. I have a feeling it's going to be our podcast From the Files just gets rescheduled to a different time, to be honest. Yeah, so I guess you should probably expect that at the beginning of next month, realistically.
Yeah, because it will be next week when issue 4 is out, so we'll probably be recording Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
And then we get to talk GoBots for 20 seconds before we move on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're doing a very quick overview and then talking about Atomic Robo.
Yeah, because spoilers, I can't take it!
Have you read it, though?
Yes!
Oh, okay. Did it improve?
No!
Oh, okay. Oh.
Everyone keeps telling me, oh, it's so amazing. Just like, no, it's not! I have not had such a negative reaction to a comic book since Heart of fucking Darkness.
I was going to say, is this like if you lived in a universe where everybody loved Heart of Darkness?
Yeah, it is.
Heart of Darkness was the best. You're insane! You're insane! Go and die! Oh, boy. Well, there you go. Cool, I suppose we should move on to Mikey. What you been up to since we last talked to your face?
No, do you know what's an advantageous thing about getting ill?
No.
Yeah. You basically get time to catch up on a few things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I made decent inroads in the anime for the last couple of seasons.
Is this like the anime that's been out, or is this the new kind of push for this season? Oh, good, cool.
So some of them, I still have a bunch more from last season to try out, but I've got at least a groundwork going forward. So this season has quite a lot of comedy stuff in it, and I won't go into all of them. Some are fun, some are not very fun. One is basically porn.
Yay!
Funny porn. Actually, quite funny porn. And one, I'm not sure about it yet, but it's called Ao-chan, and it's got a Shimoneta vibe. Not the same setting at all, but there's just like some of the tone of what they're hitting as it's like, I see what you're doing there.
Okay.
But also, like, it's making me want to rewatch Shimoneta, which was amazing.
That was a fun show.
That was great. It is so sad that Anna's voice actress died like a month and a half after it finished.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I'm sure they could do a season 2, but I don't want them to because it's just like, no. I don't need another one.
Yeah.
She did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first off, of course, we had The Adventures of Giant Chicken.
Woo! Episode
which,
15?
Yeah, well, I got through that, and whatever the most recent one was. The one where Raftalia got kicked in the nuts a lot.
I think that was episode 15. I was going to say that was a fun one, but it's not a fun one, but it is good.
It's very good. Like, this is a very good show. But it's just like, fun is not the word I'd use.
No.
But yeah, you keep forgetting Raftalia's like 8.
Yeah, kinda. Sort of.
It's got, like, because I remember, like, during some of the scenes, just like, how long has she been gone? How long has it been since she's seen these people? And I'm just like, oh yeah, it's been like a month and a half.
Something like that. It's not desperately clear.
Yeah, but like, she's clear, like, she's been with now for me for at least a few months.
Yes.
But it's just like that relative thing of just like, oh yeah, for her this is like, this isn't one of those childhood memory things. This is a week ago last Tuesday.
That whole thing of them like aging up through leveling up is a bizarre thing, because is that like, does that how the species work? Like when they grow up levels and grow into an adult form, does that mean they also mature like mentally?
But presumably
they must
she did.
do. Yeah.
But does that
It's
also
weird.
mean like it's their lifespans? Like if they age naturally, do they live longer?
Yeah. Oh, that'd be bleak, wouldn't it? Oh, you get more powerful, but you live less.
Like Naruto or something. But but it could be like, and that's how they punish criminals. They force them to level up.
But wouldn't that make them really strong?
Yeah, but then they're just like, no, you'll be dead soon. We're going to level you up to level 100. You've got like 5 minutes.
And then they just turn to dust, a la the Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of thing.
Also, Giant Chicken was amazing in these ones.
Yeah.
She done fucked up a wall.
Yep.
But no, I'm liking it. The intro is still not as good as the other one.
Agreed. Yeah, that song has not grown on me at all.
No, and neither is like I find it really weird that Melty doesn't show up in the opening until like it's like she's in a really quick flash at the start, and then she's just there in the end, just like, look, she's part of the main group, and it's
I think that really represents how much she actually impacts the story in a lot of ways. Like, she's not the main focus of the show.
Oh no! Like, her whole thing is to kind of show that Naofumi's growing up a bit.
Yeah, it's like Narufumi, he's your main dude. Then you got Best Girl, which is Raftalia. Then you got Giant Chicken, because everyone likes her. So it's 1, 2, 3, Melty, 10.
Yeah,
she's there.
Yeah,
she's there, but yeah, whatever.
She's a head of spear guy.
Yeah, he's just a dick.
He's just there to get kicked in the dick.
That's right.
That's what you get for being an attempted rapist. Although I still love the fact this is a show about what if everyone was acting like they usually do, which is, oh my god, it's a living video game, and there's just this one guy who's like, no, it's not a fucking video game.
Everyone's
we could all die.
Here. Yeah,
like the level doesn't reset. We have consequences here. I don't know. It's a good show. I recommend it highly to people who like the animes. I also checked out, let's see, I've got a list here. One I checked out, Fairy Gone, which is a sort of post-war, not like one of those like sci-fi war places, or fantasy war places, in a world where basically fairies are some sort of primordial organism that forms a symbiotic relationship with individuals, usually through surgery. And then they can sort of manifest a familiar. In one case, it's like a 4-eyed werewolf.
Right.
And there's a big war, and a couple of characters, they get separated from their families during an attack by enemy soldiers. And skipping forward in the future, there are 2 girls. One is looking for the other one, obviously. She finds her, but the other one has gone all like murdery, for want of a better word. She gets wrapped up with a post-war military group whose whole all they do is control people. They're called fairy soldiers, so illegal fairy soldiers, people who have fairies and aren't registered or whatever, because after the war, no one really knew what to do with them. They didn't really have a place in society, so either they joined this group or they were illegals. She ends up, the main character, I can't remember her name right now, she ends up gaining a fairy. By unusual means, she just merges with one. She doesn't have to have surgery, and hers is like this weird plant thing that has heat powers. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Kind of reminds me of Witch Hunter Robin in a way. Do you remember that?
I don't actually know.
Yeah. Witch Hunter Robin was set in a world where witches were a genetic thing, and there was a group that hunted down the illegal witches, and Robin was this sort of like, she was an illegal witch, but she wasn't evil, so she ended up working with the group, you know?
Okay.
It's that sort of like hunter of your own kind of thing. But no, visuals are not too bad. They use a lot of CG, but it's quite well done. It's not the framey mess it sometimes is. Does mean some of the action scenes are a little less fluid than they could be, but there's a good bit of energy. Good music as well. I like the soundtrack. Good use of vocal tracks, so I think it's worth checking out. One Punch Man Season 2 has started.
Oh, yes. I think I saw you put up a message on Facebook or Twitter or something, and you said the animation has taken a serious downturn, which is a bummer.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, One Punch Man, which was kind of one of the sleeper hits from a few years ago, it was done by Madhouse, I believe.
Yes,
and
they're very
they
good.
Either lost the license or gave it up.
Oh.
And it's gone over to another company whose name escapes me at the moment. So it is a sequel series. It's not a reboot, but it is very visually different. Like, you know, Cyborg fella.
I thought you were going to say Berserk. It's like Berserk.
No,
we went from good to bad.
But like, the Cyborg fella, his
Genesis?
whole... You know what I mean? Genesis.
Something
Genos.
Like that. Genos, okay.
Genos' body, like, his metal bits are this weird CG thing.
Yes.
And it looks really bad.
Oh,
and the faces are all too long. And they're very... We're lifting from the manga and not translating into the new medium.
Yeah.
Which is a problem for me, because I've never actually liked the story of One Punch Man that much. Which some people will tell me it's, oh my god, it's so well written and so well everything else. And I'm just like, it's something that really quickly stopped mocking the tropes of shonen anime and just became a really tropey shonen anime.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing it had going for it that put it above the rest, it had crazy visuals.
Yes, yeah, it was really well done. I mean, Madhouse do ridiculously good work. They're one of the best animation companies in the anime biz, I would say. Damn
straight. Which unfortunately means when you give it to another company who are not anime, and the action is nowhere near as fluid.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's 2D for the most part, but it's not brilliant. Really very little to keep me in this anymore. I'm not super engaged with the story. I'm definitely not engaged with the visuals. I might try episode 2. I might. But I'd rather just go back and rewatch season 1 right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's One Punch Man. Check it out yourself. I'd say check out an episode, see what you think. I'm just deleting stuff as I go along. Comedy thing called We Never Learn, which was a kind of old school harem thing about a guy who has to teach they're super geniuses, but they don't want to succeed in their chosen, in the fields they're very good at.
Okay.
So they she's brilliant at maths, but she wants to do psychology.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So he basically said, we'll get you into a good university if you can get them getting marks, because their reputations matter to us too much.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's fun. It's quite silly. It's fun. It's got some nice visuals, but it's like very sort of late 90s, early 2000s, which is something I'm liking these days. A lot of the really good tonal stuff from that era is coming back, because, to be blunt, as much as I had a lot of fun with a lot of shows that were on the comedy side of things in recent years, usually... or at least commonly, they're out of ideas and they replace it it's funny because it's got tits.
Right.
Now, some shows are funny and have tits. And snake ladies.
Woo!
But that's because they were a funny product that also included this marketing aspect, shall we say.
Yeah.
But a lot of the comedies I was finding for years there were just like, hey, we're not that funny, but look, cleavage shot.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. There are very few. There are lots of harem animes, like you say, that do the fan service, but not many that do them well and fun.
Yeah, this has a bit of fan service, but very little, and it's mostly just wacky nonsense.
Is it good wacky nonsense?
Yeah, it's fun. It's not complicated, but it's fun. It's goofy. There's a fun bit where it's just like, I can swim. I can totally swim. You're drowning. Yeah.
Right to the bottom of the floor kind of thing.
Sort of sticking in the comedy vein, I checked out Hitori Bocchi, which is a very sweet little show. Completely inoffensive, girl is going to a new school. Her best friend tells her she will not be friends with her until she makes friends with everyone in her class because she has crippling social anxiety. So she's like, I'm not going to talk to you until I force you to talk to other people.
Does she talk about space an awful lot and have a Kamen Rider belt?
No, but she will. She's kind of in the same vein.
I had a feeling. It sounded
in
like
a way,
it.
except like she is really, 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 really weird.
Mm-hmm.
And so she makes friends with the first person she meets in class, who's like this really friendly, kind girl who has dyed blonde hair, so everyone is kind of assuming she's like Garu delinquent type.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's the trope.
Yeah, but like to the point where the teacher is terrified of her. But like she'll show up and say like, "Oh, I've just finished my homework here," or "This person was out. I've just brought them your homework," and the teacher will something like, "Oh, don't call me. You can call me a nickname. Please don't hurt me." And she's like, "I don't want to do any of those things."
Does she roll her R's a lot? You know, like the
No.
stereotypical gangster, like
No,
"Kurra!"
because the thing is, like, she looks a bit like one.
Okay,
But that's it.
See, I wondered if she also spoke like the stereotypical gangster as well.
She's a bit sarcastic.
That's weird then.
Yeah, like her teacher will literally start like ran off, like legs flailing, yelling, "I'm sorry, I can't handle scary people."
Oh no.
And then the other girls are just looking at her like, "Am I scary?" And no one says a word.
Is this where everyone has like the big beads of sweat coming off the side of the head?
Kind of. But it's really quite sweet. It's very well written for what it is. It's not challenging, I will say. But there's just like, you have to see it to get the tone of the humor, but it's very sweet, and it's nice to have just a bit of sweet, easy watching.
Sure.
So I'd say that's worth checking out. Oh god, I checked out a lot of generic action stuff. There was a weird, like, isekai one about, hey, I was reborn into a new world, and I've got all the powers that are amazing. Look at me.
It's not the slime one again.
No, this is like some guy who's the son of Merlin. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just another one.
Yeah, but without the charming aspect of slime one. And
even that has its limits because it's a little bit dull.
it's a little bit much.
Yeah. Any mech shows?
No, well, kind of.
Oh, I was gonna mock it and go, "Oh, another season of no mech anime. What a shock!"
Yeah, not a lot of. Well, you still haven't watched Genlock, which is on Crunchyroll now.
That's not part of the anime series, though.
It's pretty much part of the anime series.
But it's not coming from Japan, is what I'm saying.
No, but it's got Kazu in it, and he only speaks Japanese.
Sure.
Go watch that fucking show, will you? But there's one kind of mechy thing I will mention in a minute. But what there is, and one of these is a holdover from last season, is quite a bit of feudal era Japan stuff coming out at the moment. Like 4 or 5 shows, 2 of which I think are really worth your time.
Right.
They're kind of the big winners from this one. So the first one is Kimetsu no Yabai. Or Yaiba. Is it Yabai or Yaiba? Yaiba. Which also Demon Slayer. It's kind of shonen-y, kind of not. So no, like I don't know what lifespan this has. It'll probably do the usual thing and end halfway through the story, but I really like this one.
Why that?
Basic story: guy living in a hill with his family. Dad's been dead for years. He's got loads of brothers and sisters. He's very close to the oldest sister, who's his younger sister. And he's like very dedicated. Seems to have an enhanced sense of smell. Some reason, and goes down a hill one day, is warned, "Oh, you should spend the night here before you go back up." Why? Well, there's demons out tonight. And he's like, well, I'm fine. None of it's fine. He goes up and he finds his entire family slaughtered.
Whoops.
Quite graphically.
In the process or after?
No. Lots of dead baby bodies everywhere.
Okay.
You see dead baby bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Except one starts moving, it's the sister, except she tries to eat him. Because it turns out when a demon kills someone, if they come in contact with you, they can turn you into one.
Okay, yeah.
But, unlike, for some reason, she is able to regain control of herself. He meets a demon slayer, and the demon slayer basically says, you're only going to find, you need to talk to this old man will train you. And they go off. The sister wears a muzzle the entire time, so she doesn't say much. Like, it's just a bit of a bamboo shoved in her mouth.
Alright.
Like, and there's a really well done scene. They stumble upon a demon eating someone. He distracts the demon. This is before he even knows how to fight. And the demons here are quite neat. They're human looking, but they've got quite wild powers. And she's just standing in the doorway looking at the body and staring at it, and there's just drool coming out of, like, flowing from underneath the muzzle. because she really, really kind of wants to eat that guy. But she's also like, the whole point is that she has self-control.
Yeah.
When none of the rest of them do. And she can do things like she lives inside a basket because she can shrink down to the size of a small child.
Okay.
And because if she's in the sunlight, she dies instantly.
Oh, right. So it's less demon and more vampire.
It's kind of both. Like, the demon powers are very demon-y.
More like a yokai kind of aspect.
Well, like,
of
yeah,
vampire.
you're looking at yokai ayakashi kind of thing.
Yeah.
But one, music is great. Absolutely brilliant. Loads of vocal tracks. Really good. Really tonally good. I like all the characters. I like the violence level in it. And there's a maturity to storytelling. I mean, like I said, it feels like it's one of those, like, aiming at a higher level shonen ones.
Okay.
Like, not Ushio and Tora level of, like, this is what we can do, but kind of like, okay, this will probably one day devolve into a story that went on for 5 years longer than it needed to. But right now, they've got things are feeling tight. What apart from that, what really sets this thing across is the visual style. So the animation style is very, very stylized. Like, at first, it looks normal, and then you realize all the lines are too thick.
Oh, okay.
So black lines. Very, very good action scenes. And they do use CGI, but it's very, very effectively they use CGI. Really am liking this one a lot. It's on its third episode. I'd say the third episode is the weakest, because it's mostly a training montage. But then it ended on a really good, sweet, actually kind of emotional note, considering how it ends. Yeah, so I don't know what this story is going to develop into, but I've got to say, I think this is one that's worth keeping an eye on.
How many episodes? Is it just 1 or 2 at this point?
Three. Episode 3 aired yesterday.
Okay, so it's very, very early days.
Yes. But what's not early days is Dororo. Or Dororo. Dololo? Dororo is what the show English says, so I'm going to go with that. So this is in, like, episode 14, 15. This is based off of a 1960s manga by a guy who's kind of considered the father of modern manga. He's behind Astro Boy. I think he's behind Tetsujin.
I think so. I think that's the same guy.
Yeah, but, like, he, you know, you'll see tropes in here, but they're tropes because he made them tropes.
Okay.
I've seen pictures of the original art style. Given the tone of this show, I cannot imagine experiencing it in that art style because it is so not a visual. The visual style, the modern visual style, just suits it so much better. So it's called Dororo, but the real main character is Hayakamaru. So story opens, a warlord, or a guy who wants to be a warlord, rather, makes a deal with 12 demons that if they protect his land, they get rid of crops and everything else, he will give them anything they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
His wife is in birth at the time. She gives birth to a healthy baby boy, and then lightning strikes, and the child is reduced to a limbless, skinless, eyeless, tongueless, like... He can't feel pain, nothing. He's basically a skull that moves.
Right.
Covered in muscle. And his father starts laughing because he realizes that's the price they took. But in the process of him being hit by this lightning, a divine statue is destroyed, and it seems like the reason he's still alive is that it protected that last bit of spark. The mother, like, he's also, like, covered in blood because his veins are constantly being damaged from being held. But the mother is like, I'm so glad my son was born, and I just want, if he's going to, whatever he's going to be, he can do it here. If he dies, and he dies in my arms. And the father's like, nope, throw him in the river. Like,
okay.
Yeah. So she is not happy about this, but the father's a prick, and the last thing he says to her is like, by the way, I'm going to get you pregnant again soon so we can have a proper heir.
Yay.
Hey, one thing this show does not do is like have a romantic view of what feudal Japan was like.
Okay.
She is considered property to her husband. A nursemaid goes to take him and throw him in the river, but he's actually like, he's looking for food. Like, he's making little sucky faces, as much as you can when you don't have a face. And she decides to try and give him one small chance. She puts him in a boat and lets him go down the river. He's eventually picked up. She gets eaten by a giant cricket thing. Because monsters exist in this thing as well as, like, there's 12 demons and then there's just regular old monsters.
Well, it's lucky the kid who was placed on the boat didn't get eaten.
Yeah, no, but we find out that if you look at him with a certain magic sight, he doesn't look normal. There's little traces of curse, so it's like monsters are drawn to him, but not necessarily in the same way. He's picked up by a guy who does prosthetic limbs and stuff. So he like we're talking prosthetic limbs that would make what we have today look primitive, but they're made out of wood. But eventually,
Sekiro kind of thing.
Yeah. So eventually, he's given a body, more or less. Like he wears a mask that has fake eyes. Like he actually has fake eyes in his eye sockets. But he has a mask he's wearing to cover his hideous face, and he finds out by accident because he learns to fight. Like he can't see, he can't speak, he can't do anything, he can't hear, he doesn't have ears. But he is taught to fight blind. Because he has an enhanced sense that lets him see the souls inside something.
All right.
So, and he can tell if you're like dangerous things have red souls, for instance. Plants have green souls. And it allows him to track. And he ends up being attacked by a monster. He kills it. And it turns out it's one of these 12 demons. And when he kills it, one of his legs grows. And it realized that if he kills each of these demons, he will gain his body back, like the parts they took. And he is on a quest. He meets Dororo. He's an orphan rather, who we find out had a very tragic backstory. And they meet during a fight with a demon, and Dororo just basically decides to start hanging out with this blind mute person. And it's called Dororo because they're very much the POV character, but the POV is like we get to see like the kind of person Hyakkimaru is. Is he a good person? Is he a bad person? Is he cruel? Is he kind? Whatever. It's really well done.
Okay.
Very, very good character writing. Animation is brilliant. Like, so on point for what I would do this. It's got a lot of what I would say you'd find in the very early seasons of Inuyasha before it just wouldn't stop. In terms of how it approaches the monsters. So sometimes, most of the monsters are bad, but occasionally there's one that's not so bad. And because Hyakkimaru only sees your intent, for want of a better term, like, he knows who to attack and who to kill, but because he can't communicate, sometimes he'll just go for someone and everyone's like, what? Why is he doing this?
Right, okay.
The action scenes are brutal. There is no holding back on the violence. Episode 6 is an emotional train wreck. Episode 6 and 7 broke me on so many levels, and just like, those are good people, and in this show, good people don't have good things happen to them. Like, it is dark and heavy and emotional, and like I said, very, very unromantic.
So not for the faint of heart.
No. Like, don't, like, you know how a lot of stuff is like, oh, noble samurais, blah, 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 and all that jazz?
Yeah, they're saying that show.
No, this is a show where samurais will take off a hand because they don't like looking your face, because in feudal Japan a lot of samurais had that right.
I was gonna say, wasn't that like how it was back then?
Yeah,
more so than the romanticized version.
Yeah, the romanticized version is basically samurais as superheroes.
Yeah.
Whereas in reality they were soldiers with ridiculous levels of privilege. Like, they were also ridiculously skilled, which is how they got to that level of privilege. But they could do almost anything they wanted to almost anyone, and they do in this. And I mean anything they want. If you can think of it, someone has pulled it, or chopped it, or pulled it out, or whatever. And yeah, women are not treated well in this show, because in feudal era Japan, women frequently weren't treated well. So it's unapologetic, and the fact this came out in the 60s maybe makes a lot of sense, because the 50s and 60s were a time when Japan was not a fan of itself.
Sure.
As demonstrated by stuff like Godzilla. So maybe it came out of that era of self-reflection and everything else, and it was in the 80s and 90s you got the more romanticized idea of feudal Japan being somewhat noble. But no, really, really recommend it. Like I said, it's about 14, 15 episodes in.
It's got quite a few then.
Yeah, and but
how long is it meant to be? Is it meant to be like a 24, 25 episode thing?
And from what I've seen, there was only 4 volumes of the original manga.
Oh,
so it is getting an end.
I was gonna say, do you think it'll just be one of those things where it just gives up halfway through and goes, go read the manga?
No. Well, from what I said, in the manga there were 48 demons.
Okay.
So they've trimmed it down to 12.
I can only hope that means it's just kind of cutting out the boring kind of guff.
Yeah, I did a little research and like, oh, by the time Hyakumaru was introduced in the first one, he'd already killed 13 demons.
Okay.
And I'm just like, you know what? I don't need to see that.
Yeah, I'm guessing that means that not much growth had been done then, or it was like a slow paced growth.
Yeah.
That's
But
fine.
no.
Okay.
Really solid show.
Sounds interesting. I think I've heard something about it because you said kid with no face who wears a mask, and I was like, that sounds familiar. And since you said it's almost done, it might be worth me dripping my little eyes into.
Really, really would recommend it.
Cool.
Let's see what else. Last episode of Ryuki aired.
Oh yes, part 3.
Wasn't great.
Oh.
First 10 minutes are okay.
Okay.
But then it just suddenly turns into a weird Geo toy advert.
Oh,
for a
no.
toy that's been out for months.
Oh.
Which is so tonally against what was going on. And the final fight scene is so fucking disappointing.
Oh.
Especially considering who's in it.
So it drops the ball. Because the thing you kept comparing it to was the Exade kind of 3-part crossover thingy that had Blade in it.
Yeah. Except not as good by the end of it.
Yeah. So it's like that, but then it drops the ball.
It drops the ball hard, in my opinion. But I will say, it does not end on a happy note. Like,
okay.
Nothing is okay at the end of this. Which is the intent, because it's supposed to be like, hey, remember Ryuki?
Yeah, that wasn't a happy show. I like it.
But it really, by the end of it, feels like you can tell Inoue was the one writing it.
Yeah, I was worried you were going to say that, because that was always the slight worry in the back of my head. It's like, ooh, but Inoue...
He has a trope.
He do.
So yeah, Ryuki. I said I'd mention something mecha-y.
Yes.
So Ultraman the anime is airing on Netflix.
No, that's not mecha. I see what you're saying because of the way the designs look.
It's mecha.
Really?
It's Tekkaman mecha.
Oh, okay.
You know how Tekkaman is basically just a mecha anime but where it suits?
I kind of looked at it a bit like Sentai, but yeah, all right.
It's not Sentai.
Okay, it's been a long time since I've watched Techno Man.
It's Iron Man more than it's anything else.
Okay.
This Ultraman is anyway. You know what it ain't? Ultraman.
What? Okay. Is that good?
No.
All right.
This is a bland fucking show.
It looked it from the trailers I saw. But you said good things about it. I was like, oh, all right.
I thought there's some good things to say, and then I kept them watching.
Lame. That's where you went wrong.
Yeah, so basic story. It's set after the original Ultraman series. Ultraman's host had no memory of what was going on, but he's inherited superpowers. He has a kid. The kid inherits superpowers. And basically they develop an Ultraman flight suit because aliens are still coming to Earth. No giant ones, as far as I can tell, but lots of the human-sized aliens. Right. Including one who seems to be a human-sized Ultra. An evil Ultra. And they put on the suits, and then they fight the bad guys, and it is so bloody bland. If you have seen Godzilla Planet Eater, if you've seen any of the sort of like, I'm a mature adult anime, themes, darkness, average at best writing, you've seen this show. And it's really hurt by the animation because the animation is that bloody CG stuff again, and it's not the good version.
Was it Knights of Sidonia bad? It can't be that bad.
Well, okay, it's not as framey at times.
Yeah, because you said like Knights of Sidonia and that Godzilla movie were very similar.
Yeah.
Is it better than that at least?
There's a panning shot, and I thought the screen was dying.
Oh no!
But like the action stuff is okay, but like this is really getting on my tits, to be completely honest, because the expressiveness of the characters is non-fucking existent.
Oh.
And like you can't even say, oh well, they're trying to emulate the anime. No, they ain't, because they're Expelled from Paradise was the only anime I've ever seen that did this visually right, where people were expressive as they would be in an anime. Like, there's no expression. Like, the difference between happy and sad is the mouth is upturned. Slightly. It's so bad. I really wish this style would fucking die.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's just cheaper to do.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple of episodes. I will not be continuing on with it. It is just painful, in my opinion. Like, some people are giving it good reviews, but those are people I think who are not into this stuff. And it's not a toku.
It has to be like just. I can't imagine it's a lot of different companies who do this style, right? It has to be just one or two. At
No, it's
max.
multiple companies. But
Is
the problem
it?
is,
Ugh.
like, I think some show got popular doing it this way,
Knights of
and now they're all
Sidonia?
trying to
I'm
emulate
trying
it
to
because
think what got popular
Oh,
using that
God.
style.
don't know. Like, I know Sidonia was relatively popular because people liked the story, and I was like, the story's kind of shit. But it doesn't feel like an Ultra show on any level.
Okay.
It's not even like, oh, the human elements of an Ultra show. It's a Tekka Man, it's an Iron Man, it's a guy in a suit. And it really, 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 really feels like a guy in a suit. And I said this today, it is fucking embarrassing to have this show coming out in the same, within 3 months of Gridman ending. Like, what I think I put it up on Twitter today, you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. And it's Ultraman and Gridman. And it's just like, Gridman is a fucking good show. And it is a very good show with a lot of really good use of the medium. And this is a bad show that is not making use of the medium. And the fact they're in the same Subaraya family is just sad. It's absolutely sad. I don't want to go on about that anymore because I'm actually getting angry. But yeah, there's also, I caught up on the Dragon Ball Heroes anime.
Oh yeah, how is that? That's the card game thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's okay. It's very, very, hey, buy this card game.
Does it have the Super Dragon Ball Hero? Does it have that?
Kind of, I think, but
because that was the best bit of those bizarre intros, especially when you play them back to back.
But hey, it's like, what if Zamasu fought Jiren? Nothing happens because it's basically one move and then they cut to another fight that's nothing happening. And they talk so much in these shows.
That's impressive.
There's too much talking.
In a Dragon Ball Z show where they talk quite a lot.
Stop talking! You've got 10 minutes!
Punch him.
Shut up! Just have the fucking fight! Yeah, also caught up on Geo, so I'm into the middle of the Aguto arc. So it's official, they have changed the rules of the Another Riders. This was said outside, I think a producer said this, but basically, as far as they're concerned, all the paradoxes caused by Gates and Geo now have made it so the Riders don't get erased anymore. One, I feel that's disrespectful to all the other storylines where guys did get erased, and presumably have not gotten their powers back afterwards. So, Gaim, like, Ankh still doesn't exist. You know? And two, that's not explained in the show. In the show, they just don't tell you anything, really.
Oh.
There's a bit where someone notices the new Another Riders all have 2019 on their chest, not the date of their writer's creation.
Right.
And that's it. And also, like, no one's traveled back in time in a while. The end of the Blade one, interesting. Like, did actually try to give an end to Blade's arc. Kind of, like, I'm not sure how it's all going to wrap up in the end when everyone gets their powers back. Because it may not end in a happy way. But it wasn't too bad. Also introduced Geo Trinity, which works in action better than it does in concept. You know?
Okay.
The design works a lot better in movement. And it's fun. There's a fun bit where, like, Woz has to try and, like, give an announcement every time they transform into it. So every time they transform, he's like, hang on, I'll get it right this time. Because he doesn't really know what to say because this thing doesn't exist in his timeline. But it's also, like, its powers are basically, it can use all the weapons of the other riders. And it's stronger than the other forms. Agito's one is a good nostalgia, like a lot of nostalgia in this one. You've got things like emulating the very first Agito transformation, a lot of returning actors. It's kind of fun to see Agito. Like, it's the fun thing about this new set of rules is that you now get the riders fighting and doing rider things. You know?
Yeah.
But that also means, like, that's a weird change. Like, I don't know. You can kind of tell the producer of the show was the guy who did the bit of Hibiki where he said, let's just change all the fucking rules. Like, I have also seen some clips from the next episode, and I have to admit, though, that's a big nostalgia hit because they start playing Believe Yourself. Wait, yeah. Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, one thing they've never tried to do is hit that nostalgia button quite so hard. And it looks like Hibiki's after all this. I don't know, it's feels weirdly like this should have been the show from the start.
Yeah.
But it also, also, all the problems like plot and character are still there because, one, I really think Gates' story might have just ended without me realizing it, and now he'll spend the next 20 episodes not doing anything, kind of like Meteor did in Forza.
And what's his name from Ghost?
Yeah, but yeah, except in Ghost,
like
like worse than Necrom, like more like Spectre,
no.
like Spectre. Remember how Spectre's story ended in the first 4 episodes?
Yeah, I don't remember anything about Spectre.
Yeah,
he had a sister, and that was it.
And like Tsukiyomi finally has a plot point to do with her after 30 episodes of literally doing nothing, and it's weird because everyone's like, I don't understand this mysterious thing that's happening, and I'm just like, we've seen this like a dozen times already. I don't know. Like, basically my overall opinion of the show has not changed. But I did like the nostalgia hits from these episodes. I think they've done much better than previous ones.
Right. Yeah? Okay.
And they recreate the Agito walking down a dark alley with the belt glowing. And that's a nice touch, you know. But I've said it before. You can really tell this is the guy who wrote Ninja. And also, no one seems to really be commenting on the fact that another Agito looks like another Agito. Although they've made some changes, like he's got now human teeth instead of the bug teeth.
Oh, that's a bummer. The bug teeth were neat.
Yeah, they've got you know how the Another Riders have human eyes underneath their visors?
No, because I haven't watched the show.
Yeah, they do. Anyway, so instead of bug eyes, instead of the compound eye, he's got that.
Okay.
But no, it's I would honestly say that, like, check out these 2 episodes. Like, once the Agito arc is over, check out those.
Yeah, because whenever you talk about the show, it does not endear me to go and watch it.
Not really. Like, here's the thing. Now we have nostalgia episode hits. I'd say go watch the nostalgia hit, which I couldn't say before because the nostalgia hit was, here's an actor being someone else.
Do I need to have the
God, no.
The backs, like the introduction and the context?
There'll be story in there that you won't get, but that's not what you're watching these for.
Okay, I'm watching it for that hit, that tap of the veins. Yeah,
so the Blade stuff, all you need to know, you already know because it's from Blade.
Right, okay.
The Agito stuff, it's not that heavy in the Agito lore, but it does have a lot of Agito's elements, like why in Agito, Gills and another Agito ended up existing in the first place.
Okay.
That's kind of core to all of this. Yeah, and you can watch Waz constantly telling people to rejoice, which is always fun. Yeah, Real Soldier, watch that as well. Up to date on that. It's not bad. It's not a brilliant show, but it's not bad. And there's some really clever and innovative camera work and directorial stuff that is making me like this show. And also the clusterfuck Megazord, as I call it, that they've gotten, which they've already gotten, by the way. Not actually that bad this time around.
Ooh.
Like, he's got a lot piled on him, but it feels logically piled on him for the most part.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a fun show. Good designs overall, really good aesthetic. Yeah, the only other thing I watched of note, I picked up Spider-Verse today, but I haven't rewatched it.
I hear that's a pretty good film, Mikey.
I hear good things.
Yeah, I hear 2 people won't shut up about it.
Yeah, like it's something like it was one of the best superhero movies of all time.
That's right.
Possibly the best movie in 2018.
You know what's going to disappoint in comparison?
Everything.
Endgame. It won't be as good.
I am so not excited for that movie. I realized during the weekend.
Same. When is it? Is it this week? No,
yeah,
sorry, next week.
Yeah, but I realized that I was just like, I'm not really flipping out about Endgame.
Same.
But to be fair, I'm way more flipping about King of the Monsters.
Which makes sense because you're a big old Godzilla fanboy, so yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm more interested in seeing that because it's something different again.
But I was a big old comic book fanboy.
You were, but you've had 10 years of those movies.
10 years of Bathos.
Yep. If you had 10 years of Godzilla movies, I guarantee you'd be tired of those as well.
Nah. I had 10. I was in the Millennium era. I was fine.
Were you? Oh, God.
Yeah. I was young. I was young and childish, but I was just like, I'm watching all these things. Yay!
Did you hear a whisper on the wind saying there's only one good one? And it hasn't been made yet, young Mikey.
You will see a man with a mustache. Mustache.
Mother, I keep hearing an Englishman's voice on the wind. Oh no, the family curse has come true. It skips one generation.
He speaks of Americans and racial insensitivity.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, so I'm just so unexcited for Endgame. Oh, but one other thing I did do, I watched episode 1 of season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
I'm kind of glad I did that big catch up last year.
Oh yeah, you rewatched everything, didn't you?
I watched everything.
Oh, okay.
Because I'd only seen bits and bobs before then.
All right. I think I said on last week's show I thought it was okay.
Very rushed, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know,
here's what I thought. I don't mean to interrupt, but here's what I thought, because the last time I was watching consecutively a live action TV show was probably The Flash. So I was comparing it to that, American wise. We're not counting Kamen Rider. So when I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, well, I'm enjoying this more than I did The Flash the last time I watched it.
I can't remember when I last watched The Flash.
But that's because I know I got incredibly bored with The Flash, and I think you did as well.
You know what? I think it was the Savitar stuff was the last stuff I saw.
I think I saw to if not the end of season 2, near the end of season 2, and I was like, oh, fuck this.
Don't know. What were they going to say? But yeah, does not feel like the start of a final season.
All right, how so?
For Game of Thrones, because it feels like they're doing what they always do, which is setting up intrigue, setting up betrayal, setting up all these new alliances and everything else, and they're just like, you've got a few episodes. You have less episodes now than you have had in any other season. The sides are drawn. I don't need you injecting new sides. Like, it's weird to me that we have our heroes, and that is what they are now. Collectively, they are the heroes, in inverted commas. We have the monster that you can't talk to, and the monster that it doesn't matter if you talk to. So you've got they're surrounded on both sides, and that's your intrigue and betrayal and everything else. Yeah, I don't really feel the need to inject more stuff with Daenerys, or more stuff with Jon, or more stuff with Cersei, or more stuff with Theon, or whatever. I don't know. I feel like someone in the writing thing was just like, well, we have to include this stuff, and we're putting it in, and it does not feel urgent enough.
Right.
Because it's supposed to be like, by the way, he's like a day and a half away, the Night King. So it does not feel urgent enough. Also, there are so many rushed reunions in this one.
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff to go through, that's for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of them didn't feel like, one in particular I can think of did not feel as satisfying as it really needed to. Will not say who it is. Like, I am going to say as spoiler free from this as possible. But I don't know. I've never been as in love with Game of Thrones as other people are. Maybe I sometimes wonder it's because of how I watched it, but I see a lot more flaws than other people do. And like, I know some people weren't crazy about season 7. For me, season 7 is the best season.
Right.
Because it finally delivers on a lot of promises. Even something simple like Cersei doing anything. Because she doesn't do anything for 5 years. And this show is very, very prominent in saying like, oh, wait, you'll get it soon. You get it. You get it. And
yeah, there's a lot of that.
5 years, I'm not that patient. I don't think anyone is. If I was watching this year by year, I would have probably stopped watching it. So I wasn't that, like, knowing I had all the seasons in a row and then getting to it and still being kind of impatient, just like, okay, Cersei, do something that makes me think you're what everyone tells me you are. Because right now you're just another psychopath like, everyone's as crazy as you are. Like, there's all of you, and then there's like Jon and Tyrion over here being mildly sane.
Yeah.
So season 7 was my favorite because I felt it paid off a lot of stuff. This, I don't know. Like, I'm hoping they really do kick off for next one. I'm not getting in on the predict who's going to die game. Because, come on guys, really? We're going to play this now. You know how this goes. Yeah. The only prediction I'll go is that Drogon is going to fucking die. That's not a prediction. That's a near certainty. Like, the dragons will not make it out of this series. I will almost guarantee it.
I could see that.
Which I think would be a shame, because again, that feels like you've only had them doing something for a season or two, and now you're killing them. and they don't appear that much because they have a lot of CGI.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah.
Pretty
Hey,
much.
hey, Andy, remember Ghost?
I do.
When was the last time you saw Ghost?
Mm.
I don't know if he's going to be in ever again.
Hang
to
on,
be
was
honest.
Ghost the... I don't actually... Is Ghost the wolf? The dire wolf?
John's
the big
wolf,
one?
the one that survived
Is
any
that-
length of time?
When was the last time that was shown? I honestly
As
can't
far
remember.
as I know, the last time Ghost was in it was the start of season 6.
Oh dear.
And I did some reading during the week, and just like, yeah, he was supposed to be in season 7, but they said we could either have Ghost or we could have another dragon scene.
Alright.
And
Goodbye, doggo.
yeah,
You are not
apparently
the good boy.
Yeah, but considering how important direwolves were to the whole themes and stuff, it's really weird.
Ah, it's fine. People like dragons. People don't give a fuck about dogs.
But yeah. So yeah, Game of Thrones. I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm just, for me, it like I saw the Angry Joe review, and they said like, oh, a weaker Game of Thrones episode is still like an 8 or a 9 or a 10 for another series. It's just like when I say it's a 5 or 6 out of 10, I mean it's a 5 or a 6 out of 10.
Joe's really enthusiastic about things he likes, though. So
Yeah. So is Alex,
mm.
which he's also enthusiastic about things he doesn't like.
But
But
you
yeah,
say
so
he's
it's
enthusiastic about things he doesn't like.
yeah, enthusiastic in disliking them.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So yeah, I would say it was a 5 or a 6 because it's a middling episode. It's all set up.
Yeah.
It's a bit rushed set up.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And I think it misuses its times at times.
Is that fair? I guess that'll only be fair to say once the season's over, and then you can look back and be like, did they or didn't they?
Yeah. I would also say, like, just if we're going to compare it to Game of Thrones stuff, that is not how you come back after a year and a half. That is not something that makes you go, wow, it feels like you never left.
Yeah.
That feels like you realize it's been a year and a half and you need to remind us all what's going on.
Mm.
So, I don't know. Anyway, Andy, I've rambled on trying to drag this show out ad infinitum. What were you up to this week? Who did you kill?
Again, not a huge amount. Did some Poopcast editing, obviously. I watched more of The Orville, so I'm on to episode 11 of season 2 now. That's still good. They had a 2-parter, which was 8 and 9, I think it was, and they were surprisingly good. I was like, oh, damn. Stakes. Less jokes. It was really well done. I was like, I wouldn't say it's something you haven't seen before, but it's still surprising to see The Orville be a very competent, fun show where you, in many ways, I don't feel it should be. like when you hear about, there's a sci-fi show on Fox, you're like, oh, all right, well, okay.
That'll get cancelled after 5 minutes.
Yeah, or it'll just be terrible, and it's like, oh, it's not. It's actually pretty well done, and there's some heart behind it. Oh. Wow.
What if they said there's a sci-fi show on Fox, yeah, with Seth MacFarlane?
Yeah, exactly. You go, oh no, he's even in it as an actor. You go, oh no. But no, it's surprising that it pulls itself off quite well. As you did, I watched the Shield Hero number 15, which we've talked about, and I haven't done anything. I did the Game of Thrones. I haven't done it for this episode 2. Is episode 2 out now? Coming out?
Episode 2 is airing tonight.
Okay, well, haven't done that, obviously, just yet. I don't think I've really done out else. I did get an expansion for Total War Warhammer. It's not one of the big ones. It's one of the smaller ones called The Prophet and the Warlock. So this adds Ikit Claw to the Skaven and adds some new little features like a workshop and some new units and stuff to them. And it adds a new hero and some new units and some other fancy stuff for the lizard men as well. I played a little bit of it, not a huge amount. It's fun, it's good. Like me some more rats. And the new units are rats with sniper rifles and rats with Gatling guns. So it's pretty cool to have like a load of those dudes firing, because they fire like green bolts and it looks pretty badass. Lots and lots and lots and lots of rats with guns. It's quite nightmarish, really. The only other thing is I got another Figma this week, which was Figma Lancer from Fate's Day Night, or Kuhulin. Is that how you say his name, Mikey?
Kuchelen.
Yep, Kuhulin. I got him. He's really good. He is really, really good. He's got superposed ability. He's got a lot of different hands to pose him with his lance. He's got a decent amount of faces. You know, he's got a normal relaxed face. He's got like a winking face. He's got a screaming face, and he's also... Does he have another face? No, that's not the right one. Winking face. Oh, and then he's got like an angry sneer, like, I've got you, kind of thing. He's really good. He's got so much posability to him. And he's taller as well than Mordred, who I got last week. He's one of the tallest Figmas I've ever had. I don't think they get much taller than him. Yeah, he's not like a leader-sized figure or anything like that, but it's nice to see them have a bit more, I guess, range to them, a diversity, I suppose, in terms of their size. And it's also, again, nice to see a male figure in the line, which is always a plus, because they're fucking rare, as you know. Yeah, I really enjoyed him. Yeah, that's it, really. I don't think I've done anything else of note, unlike young Mikey here. So we may as well move over to some questions, because I said we had some, and I'd leave them till you came back. So we're gonna start off with the comment on Weebly from Cole Sutra, or Cool, who you may remember left us a Weebly message the last time you were around.
Yes.
There is a big document here, which which he said or sent us. I did copy and paste it onto your Twitter direct messages like last week or something before you said you were ill. But I'll just summarize it because it's big and it'll take a long time to go through. So he starts off talking about he's interested in Turn A Gundam. He knows a bit about it, but he does not know anything about the cow.
You are useless to me.
He cannot tell you if the cow is loaded into a nuclear rocket launcher.
I also forgot to watch the cow. God damn it!
One episode, Mikey. That's all it is. 20 minutes.
Finding that right now. I'm finding that right fucking now. Turn A Gundam cow episode.
He also goes back over and... do you remember when we were talking about the Kings of Furry, or the Furry Kings?
Yes.
Furriest
of Kings.
He drips in what they think could be a furry king, and there was Were Garurumon. Which one was that? Was that the one with pants?
That was the ultimate level werewolf from Adventure.
Did it have pants on?
It was kind of like, what if Rob Liefeld designed a werewolf?
Okay.
Many pockets.
Okay.
Let's find out. Safe search off.
I was told, like, it does say in the email, make sure that you don't. Yeah, it's the one I was thinking of. He does have pants. He said don't because there's many a thing.
We're doing this.
Yeah, where Garurumon is the one with pants.
Furry. Okay, the first one is a sexy female Garurumon. I don't think that's what we were looking for here. Second one is a sexy female Garurumon. Okay, scrolling. Tits. Okay, I'm noticing a trend here. Okay, naked man, bulging muscles. Okay, yeah.
Enjoy,
naked,
Mikey.
Bulging muscles. That Speedo is too tight.
I wish your mum would walk in or your dad.
This is research. Oh, okay, so giant muscles, but above giant muscles we again have tits. Muscles, tits, muscles, tits, muscles. Tits and muscles in this case. So I'd say Where Garurumon is up there in the furry fandom.
There you go. That was thrown down. The question...
Where Garurumon and Doggy Kruger. There we go.
Oh, well, there you go. The question we have... what were ye lads' earliest memories like that likely rejigged your formative age minds towards like the toys that turn into one of the things into robots? His were playing with G1 Ravage and GoBots Loco, who was the train, obviously, and wearing out the tapes of his VHS tapes at his parents' place, the few batches of Saturday morning cartoons that were on them, and also probably watched SOS Dinobots more times than any sane person would. So what was the thing, I suppose, that got you rejigged back in? Or were you ever jigged out?
I don't know. Like, I didn't actually see G1 properly until I was like 20. So I know I'm a bit unusual in that. The things from my childhood that made me like remember, like the thing it was like when I got into Transformers, like, oh, I remember this because it didn't air much on Irish TV, but it came in on and off. But what I did when I was about 6 or 7, a new video shop opened, and I went in and they had a big cartoon section.
All right.
And one of them was a Transformers video, and it had 2 Insecticon episodes and Dinobot Island on it. And I remember getting that out, and I didn't give it back. I got such a late fee on that because I didn't want to give it back, so I kept on hiding it when people went looking for it.
You realize there may be some young people listening to the thing saying, like, well, what's he talking about? Give it back. What do you mean, give it back?
Well, you see now, kids, back in day, we had these big boxes called videotapes that had magic scrolls on them that made pictures. And you took them like from a library and then gave them back after a few days. And if you didn't give them back on time, a large man would come over to your house with a stick. It was very dark. We also had vans that went round to your house with these videotapes, or films, as we call them. And you could get them from that. And usually, the guys driving that were much looser about what should be given to small children. And you could usually get hold of videos that you couldn't get other means. And, 3-year-olds shouldn't see Plague Dogs. That's just a biological fact.
What about Watership Down?
Saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw all the movies that traumatized you as a child. So it was like, oh, it's animated, he'll be fine with it. And thinking back, and just like, you knew what you were giving me. Land Before Time. Oh, look, happy dinosaurs, and they're dead. So yeah. But if I was like the thing that made me think about the toys, don't remember what age I was. Went to a bric-a-brac sale, rummaging around, big green tank man, and I was like, oh, this is fun. I got him for €1. No, it would have been £1 then.
I was gonna say, Howie. Yeah. You're not that young.
Yeah. And then I remember I would just sit there going, and every few minutes it go like Megatron attacks, and I had no idea who Megatron was.
I like to imagine there was a nerd walking by you every time and just scowled at you. He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Yeah. Do you know what? I gave that toy away when I was 12 to a younger cousin. And he lost it or sold it or broke it or whatever.
How the hell do you lose it? It's not a small figure.
No,
Jesus.
but thinking back in it, my God, I would kill him to get that toy back. Like, it is so weird how both the nostalgia of my childhood and the fact that I know what it is now.
Yeah.
With G2 Megatron for the 5 people who didn't get it. Like, I would just be like, oh my God, why did I give it to him? I hated him. Then I didn't like my cousins.
Oh, no.
They don't listen to this, it's fine.
That's fine, yeah.
But yeah, and also I had, I had no idea they were Transformers, but I had a Headless Horrible.
Oh, okay. Was that from like a yard sale or something?
Yeah, just like a ghost, like so I just had him in like I thought he was a bull. I didn't realize he was actually like a dog, a hell dog thing from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a bull.
I had, oh God, it's one of the I can't remember their names, but I actually saw them at a TF Nation a couple of years back. Big Autobot car. You plugged a big gun into the back that was kind of like a big turbine engine.
Right.
White. I remember. Oh, I can picture it in my head right now. But I remember having him, and I had a lot of fun with him. Like, and that once I realized what anime was and everything else, it all merged and kind of informed where I was going.
Okay.
And what about you, Andy?
I don't remember a huge amount, but I do recall my first Transformer being Pretender Scowl. And I think I just kind of flopped into Transformers at that point. Probably
like a freshly landed tart.
Exactly.
Carp.
No,
tart?
Like a tart. Exactly like a tart. You were right first time. I can't remember a huge amount of how it spread from there, but it was probably from like watching DJ Cat on Sky One. DJ Cat, doo 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 doo.
They had Power Rangers on, did they?
They did, yeah. That was that.
No, they had Power Rangers. They had Power Rangers, but did they have Transformers?
Yeah. The Fun Factory did at the very least. So it might have been. I think
DJ Cat was Saturdays, I remember, and he had Turtles and he had all the Saban stuff.
Yeah, he had all the Saban stuff. He had Turtles. He had the Tick. No, he didn't. No, he didn't have the Tick.
Tick was Cartoon Network, or was it TCC?
It was TCC, because TCC had some of my favorite shows as well. TCC had Skeleton Warriors, the Tick, BattleTech as well. Did it have? There might have been another show, but I think it had Botmasters as well.
Oh God, Botmasters! I
think that was on TCC. But no, DJ Cat also had X-Men and Spider-Man and all the Marvel stuff as well. So I like DJ Cat. So it might have been Fun Factory, which I think was either on a different day or on earlier than DJ Cat, but Fun Factory had it as well, had Transformers on, so I managed to catch episodes that way. And I'm guessing around that time period when I was getting into it.
DJ Cat had Transformers Generation 2.
Maybe
under the title of New Transformers.
I
just looked it up.
I don't think I ever saw G2 Transformers. I think I saw the adverts for them, but not actually the G2 cartoon. Not that you would ever really fucking know, I suppose.
No. They also had the Wild West Cowboys of Moonbase.
Yeah, I always skipped that because I hated it.
I loved it. And also, my god, if there's something that was furry fodder, looking forward.
Yeah. You know what put me off
Mikey.
about that show? The intro. I thought the intro for it was fucking boring. It looked shit. And I was like, no. There was something deep in my soul that made me go, fuck this show. And I never went back. And I think I maybe tried to watch a bit of it and it was just so bland. I didn't like it. And then I think when around that same time period was when all the gold reissues of the G1 toys were coming out. So I think that was just kind of my time when I kind of dripped in. And then years later, I kind of dripped out more into video games, and then I kind of came back in when I saw Unicron on getting up for school watching Armada. I was like, oh shit, Unicron! I remember that motherfucker. And then I saw that there was a toy of him. I was like, whoa, they've done a toy of Unicron! Jesus Christ! And then I think I can't remember which order it was, but I either bought the VHS from HMV of the Transformers movie and then got the Unicron toy, or got the Unicron toy and then bought the VHS and then kind of flopped into everything. Because I was buying the Armada stuff just at the end of Armada. Because that's why I picked up Treadshot, which I've still got and don't like. He's still shit. And it's why I also picked up the Ultra Magnus repaint of Overload, I think he was called.
Yes.
Which I was able to sell for quite a lot later on. I also have the yellow version of, or had the yellow version of Energon. Crap, what's his name? The bike from Armada. Sideways?
Yes.
Yes, and his like yellow tiger striped version called Rapid
Yeah,
Run.
I got him at TF Nation once.
Yeah, he was neat. So yeah, that's my stuff. We also have a post from Tentomon number 4. The question he leaves us, Mr. Mikey, is when I can find it. Mikey,
about who's the male furry king? We've done that one.
No, he was explaining as well why Renamon, why he said Renamon was the submissive type because of her having the Shinobi master relationship with Rika.
Yeah.
So that was the idea behind that. The
She
question
just kept on popping out of reality. That one did. I remember that. Every
to...
time she walked in, she never walked into a room. There'd just be like a ghost sound. It's just like
ninja.
Yeah, just like you're a fox that shoots diamonds.
Yep, ninja. So Mikey, this is directed to you. With the IDW GoBots comic, would it be better as a YouTube poo style mashup video?
I think it would be better as actual poo. But
Well, you could make that happen if you bought an issue and ate it.
I don't know. I know other people do like it, and I hear other podcasters saying they really like it.
Charles isn't people. We've talked about this.
Charles isn't people. Like the crowd over on Cybertron, they're definitely not people. None of them are, especially John. But
I like the idea that this will be the thing
started on bloody Jason.
This will be the thing that breaks the Transformers podcast community. It'll be you versus everybody else.
Yeah, me, Scotty P, Jason, we're all at war. Like, head up, break into an RFC recording, just screaming over their chat, just like, GoBot sucks! It does, by the way, guys. If you're listening, hi, guys, hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Love your show. Lovely that you're around as long as you have. Amazing thing. It's a sucky comic. Stop praising it. Just stop it. You piss me off. I don't know. I could just write a different comic. Just give me write a GoBoss comic. Don't write Planet of the Apes, but then Transformers.
Yeah, a bit lazy. The other part of the question is, or a different part is, and should we be worried about IDW's economic problems?
That is a more complicated question.
Because I think it probably should be. You should always be concerned with, because the comic book industry, I hear, just in general, isn't doing amazingly well. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, like apparently it's still overall more profitable than you're led on to believe.
Okay.
But I believe they finally released some digital numbers, and the digital numbers were definitely down.
Right.
The problem is that the comic industry is basically Marvel, DC, and everyone else.
Mm.
And, you know, the Marvel DC movies, unfortunately, are a major pusher of the comic industry right now. And if it's not it's hard, I find, to get someone into licensed comics, especially. Like, if you're Image, people read your books on the basis of you being Image. You know, Image had a couple of standout series, and, you know, like every other publisher. And then, to be honest, like every other publisher, they had a large volume of trash. But people are giving them a chance because it says Image on the front. Sure. Because Image really reinvented itself in the 2000s into the high art one.
That's right, yeah.
I'm doing hand gestures. IDW's financial problems, wider than just the comic company, are probably scarier than the comic company's problems. Because the comic company's problems are a reflection of trends in the industry. The issues going on with the wider IDW media, those are bigger issues. It sounds like there's been a number of poor financial choices made. Hopefully nothing's going to knock it down, but maybe the 2019 Transformers run will not be a long continuity. Maybe we're going to go on to another publisher. Maybe we'll take a break for a year or two and be without Transformers comics for a while.
That could be interesting. It'd be weird to see Transformers like completely taken off the shelf, as it were.
It's weird to think in a way, because like
we've had it on the shelf for a very long time now.
Transformers had a continuous run up until, like, it ran originally into the 1990, I think, 1991, and then it was a year or two off. Then it had G2, and then it was off for close to 10 years, and then since Dreamwave, there has not been a month where a Transformers comic of some shape or form has not been on the shelves.
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, because we went straight from Dreamwave to IDW with maybe a few months gap between them.
6-month gap or something like that.
Yeah, but even so, that's not massive.
And even in then, we had crossovers and stuff.
Yeah,
with Devil's Due, beautiful Devil's Due.
Oh no, I was making the bad sounds because I was remembering Transformers crossed over with Marvel.
Well, that was early IDW. That's still technically in continuity. But it's good because John basically just said, what happened to the Avengers? They all got killed during all that Megatron. They did, boy.
Problem solved.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope not, but because I like IDW as a company.
Yeah.
I think they make good choices overall. I think they also make corporate choices, but I think they have a lot more freedom than the other two, because I think they are the third or fourth biggest comic company now.
Well, one of them isn't owned by the mouse, so I'm sure they have a lot more freedom than that.
Yeah, and they don't have to reboot their entire continuity every time a movie starts.
That was a bad choice.
It's a very, very bad choice, and it is not going away anytime soon.
No.
But yeah, hope not. But Jeremy did a very good breakdown on Transmissions a few weeks back.
Oh yeah.
Which is, I think it was one. Yeah, it was one of the comic episodes. Very, very well worth listening to. Just keep an eye on it, and to be fair, maybe we'll end up hating the new continuity by the time it's going over, and we'll all be like, maybe it would be best if it got passed on to someone else. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose.
Yeah, as long as if it does get passed on at some point, we're all open-minded and not assholes about it.
Oh, Mikey, that's not how the internet works. You know this. I know this. Everyone knows this.
Yeah. What do you think of it, Andy?
Because I'm so out of comics at the moment. Like I'm only reading the Transformer ones for the sake of the podcast. I have no real investment in reading any of the comics, just because none of the stories interest me. The ones that they're putting out at the moment.
Are you talking like wider comics?
Yeah, IDW and the wider comic world as well. Like none of it's really doing anything for me, so I'm just like, I'm not invested at all in any of it.
Yeah, it's a weird time. They went through a really, really good period there.
Yeah.
And now you have to be looking for the good stuff. Now it's still out there. There's still good books out there, but it's a lot more search and you will find.
Yeah, when I was getting into the comics, it was you could throw a stone and you'd find a good comic series, and now like you say, it's a lot harder.
and also like especially if you're looking for superhero comics, the market is so saturated.
Yeah, like I don't think in this day and age you would get the Taskmaster miniseries.
God, if you did, it would get so fucked up a week later by some other comic book that was going like, oh, it's a tie-in.
Yep, because Mikey, the Dawn of the Dead.
The Dawn of the Dead.
The Dawn of the Dead.
Oh man, we should talk about that again because it's been years.
We could do that for From the Files.
Damn straight we could.
Yeah, the Dawn of the Dead.
Man. Taskmaster was, for anyone who doesn't know,
That's so good.
a 4-issue completely standalone miniseries on the Taskmaster that was also fucking spectacular.
It was great.
It was so funny and just so good. Yeah, there have been very, very good superhero comics since then, but those kind of self-contained ones, like, they are rarer. You're looking for good runs nowadays. And good runs, like, they're... Yeah. Like, there was a very good Spider-Man run there. For, what was it called? I think it was Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man.
Superior Spider-Man, that one?
Spectacular.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Yeah. Because it's recent, like in the last year.
Right.
And like the last issue of that is, in my opinion, one of the top 10 Spider-Man issues ever written. And you can fight me on that, world, but you're wrong. But on the other hand, like, hey, Andy, do you want to read a Guardians of the Galaxy book? Because there's about 50 of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not the Guardians that I was reading.
Yeah,
shall we
there's
say?
now as Guardians of the Galaxy as well because puns.
Oh.
Yeah, but hey, there's Old Man Quill, the 50th. Like, there's Old Man Quill, Old Man Logan, Old Man Hawkeye, Old Man Harley.
Are they saying that the only people that read these kind of comics are just old men? Because I could believe that.
Yeah, like. Oh God, like Harley Quinn is everywhere now and is a completely different character in every book she's in.
Oh dear.
Like, I keep these days I'm more keeping up with the general tone of books than reading a lot of books.
Right.
Like the best comics I stumbled upon recently. Well, okay, it's a weird one because it is an unapologetic, pretty shameless, in your face everything. But I started, like, a couple of weeks ago, I just randomly stumbled upon the Zombie Tramp books.
Okay.
Have you heard of them?
No.
Girl gets murdered in a ritual to summon the dead or something. Turned into a zombie, gets a Necronomicon and becomes a zombie queen.
Okay.
Except she's a former, like, high-class prostitute.
Okay.
And it is ultra violent and ultra filthy and kinda amazing.
Huh.
I am not way into it yet, but I haven't been talking about it, but it does character stuff that's surprisingly decent, while she's also saying things like "fuck you, Ross," or "your balls explode." But like, there's like a standalone issue where she stumbled upon the geeky guy she fancied in school that she never told him because she was too concerned about her self-image.
Right. And
her self-image was she was an incredibly poor trailer park girl who compensated by sleeping with everything that moved.
Right, okay.
And she was just like, oh, it ends quite sadly, except she's not like, she murders so many people for food and for fun. Like, she is unapologetic in her murdering. And there's there's like a comic book universe spinning out of this with other weirdly dressed and half-naked ladies who are, like, from the crossovers I saw, were remarkably well written.
No, okay.
What? Like, I haven't talked about it, but yeah, it's a weird book.
But good.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Like I said, I'm only like 10 issues in, but you know, I don't know. Also, like, you still should read Sherlock Frankenstein. That's just brilliant.
Yeah.
That's not a Taskmaster standalone, but that's just a very good standalone.
Okay.
But yeah, comics, it's a weird place right now.
Tenomon also left us another Patreon message. This was from the week after, so because you've been away a while, Mike. Time for a question that can only be asked in this moment in time. Got any Avengers Endgame predictions, like who's gonna live, who's gonna die, and will Ant-Man crawl up Thanos' ass like the internet wants to for some reason? Maybe because Thanos has shitty, in quotations, motivation. Ho 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 ho. Stock footage of me being thrown into the dumpster. Come on, puns are fun.
Any predictions?
I mean, everybody's suggesting this, and I think it makes a lot of sense that a lot of the old guard, shall we call them, like your Chris Hemsworth, your Captain America guy, Steve. I can't remember what his real name is. What's his real name? The person that's playing him.
Chris Evans.
Yeah, him. Yeah, I think all those guys are probably gonna die. If not, they're gonna be taken to the point where they're not gonna be able to use their powers anymore. Everyone who's dead will come back to life, and they'll be fine. And they'll the movie will end, and they'll all come back, and that'll be okay. But yeah, I think the Hulk's gonna keep going because I think he's got another movie coming out at some point. So I think that's been confirmed. I think Black Widow's probably gonna keep going. But yeah, Tony Stark's gone, Thor's gone, and I think Captain America's gonna be gone as well. What about you, Mikey? You any thoughts on that? You agree with that?
I do, but my prediction is basically I think everyone is going to survive, probably bar Cap.
Okay. You think he's the only dead one because he's confirmed that his contract's coming to an end?
Yeah, and there's no word of him renewing it.
Yeah.
Maybe Iron Man again, just because I think Robert Downey Jr. might just pull back from the whole thing, especially since it looks like they're trying to make Captain Marvel the figurehead character. Forward.
100% pushing that hard. Yeah.
But I think Thor will keep plugging along because I think Thor Ragnarok made gangbuster money, and they will just, as long as he's willing to play him, they will keep on making those movies. I think everyone will be revived.
Oh yeah,
and I think you'll have 1 or 2 deaths. And to be honest, I think it could feel a bit cheap by the end of it.
Do you think Gamora will die?
Oh, I don't think anyone will die. I think everyone will be brought back, honestly, because people say, oh well, what about the characters who didn't get wiped? Those include Heimdall. They include the Asgardians. They include a lot of characters. Heimdall.
They don't matter.
They include Loki.
Yeah.
They include the cast of Thor Ragnarok, including the bloody Korg. But who? Just pointing out, Thanos murdered Korg and his little bug, and I'm not sad about it. I hope that it was like breaking up bits of him, like chipping, like with a little hammer chipping away.
No, it'd be like, I thought you meant for the bug, and I was gonna say he'd put his heel on and just push down slowly, and it'd be like a roll of toothpaste.
I don't like them.
No,
but yeah, I think there's too much marketability in most of those franchises. I think Black Widow's getting a movie.
I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked because people have been saying she needs one for a while.
Yeah, I don't think Hawkeye will die, but I would be surprised if we saw him beyond this.
Well, yeah, he's meant to be a family man now, so I could see him again, like being, well, we've saved the universe. I'm gonna stay with my family now. Bye-bye.
Hawkeye out. But yeah, I think ultimately there will be very limited consequence of the Thanos finger snapping.
Do you think that's why both you and I don't have a huge amount of excitement for it? Because it almost feels like there's no real stake that we're not unsure about happening.
I know. I think there's some truth in that. I know people say like, oh well, we all knew it was never going to stick because comic books, but doing things like we've already seen the Spider-Man trailer. Yeah. Like, if you want to try and convince me Spider-Man's dead, don't show a fucking trailer. They're very limited stakes for me in this movie because I think there'll be a big reset button and everything will be fine. And
it almost feels like there should have been like maybe a year or more between, like a few more movies between this movie, the last Avengers: Infinity Gauntlet and Endgame, and you could have those movies showing the effects of the being half the amount.
Because we haven't seen this world.
No, I assume that they're gonna have to play into that hard in the fucking 3 hours that the movie's gonna be. Jesus. 3 hours.
Like, I liked Infinity War more than a lot of Marvel movies because I thought, apart from the Guardian stuff, and it got most of the tone right. But 3 hours. But
yeah,
I would have rather Ant-Man was set in the Ant-Man sequel was set in the post world. I would rather the Spider-Man movie was set in the post world.
Yeah,
I'd rather there was more. Like, I'd rather Captain Marvel was set in the post Snap world because it wasn't. It was a
flashback. Yeah.
Because this world doesn't exist as far as we know, and we've got maybe an hour or two with it.
Yeah.
So, because they'll go off into space by the looks of the trailers.
Oh, very quickly. Yeah, I could see they're gonna have the mission briefing and then they'll be off into space trying to find him.
Yeah. So I really hope. I want it to be good, and I think it will be. I think it'll probably be good. I don't think I'm going to come out of this with a Thor Ragnarok feel.
No, I hope not. Jesus. Here's the
like,
thing, Mikey. We know it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
How long are the adverts and trailers going to make that? It's going to be 4 hours.
Yeah.
Legit. That's not a joke. Because usually
No.
when you see a big movie like a Marvel movie, you have an hour trailers and adverts on top of that. So you're going to be in that cinema for 4 hours. Probably.
But,
Jesus Christ. And
And
you're
end
gonna have to stay for the end credits as well if you really want to.
Ultimately, I think why I'm not excited for this movie is that it doesn't feel like an ending.
Because it's not, I suppose.
No. It feels like a shake-up.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I don't expect it to be a major shake-up at the end of the day.
No.
I think some actors probably won't come back, but I don't think it'll be like, oh, they're all dead.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the Thanos side of it because I think, and I agree with everyone who says that Infinity War was his movie.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I've been surprised. Shazam was brilliant, and I never expected it to be brilliant.
Yeah, both you and Griff have said good things about that.
Yeah, but again, not an action movie. People who are complaining about the action isn't great because it's not an action movie. It's a comedy, and it is so good to have different genres in the superhero subheading in now.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in it than the horror movie that's coming out.
Oh, which one's the X-Men one?
No, well, that's kind of interesting, but the one that's like, what if Superman came around and he was a little shit?
I think that looks really funny. I see it as Dave's nightmare. It's like, I love Superman. Here's a movie about Superman if he was an asshole. Because it's more likely the real story of what would happen if a young kid who was bullied at school got superpowers. He'd probably
his first tantrum would be terrifying.
Yeah. I'm not going to see it at the cinema. Don't get me wrong, but I'll watch it eventually when it comes out.
But yeah, I don't know. Like superhero. Sadly, we are in the superhero overstuffed thing.
Yeah.
It says I am so. And now that I think we're in the stage where like R-rated comic book movies are a thing, and now we're getting to the stage where R-rated comic book movies are making mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Because oh boy, those Hellboy reviews.
Yeah, they're not good.
No, sounds like it made all the mistakes I thought it was going to.
First mistake was it wasn't a Del Toro.
No, Ron Perlman, you beautiful man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like when someone said R-rated Hellboy movie, I had to pause and just like, okay, so I can get it because Hellboy has violence. It does, but it's not a gore fest. It's not a blood splatter kind of thing. It's like, it's a horror comic when it's like that.
I heard the gore was pretty good in it for what little there was.
Yeah, I don't know. That like when someone said, "Oh, Hellboy will say fuck," I'm just like, have you read a Hellboy book?
I haven't, so no.
Yeah, he don't. He's not really his style.
Okay, he's not a sweary lad.
Well, he's basically Ron Perlman.
Oh,
like
so he was Ron Perlman was the perfect choice.
The perfect casting.
Yeah,
like to an obscene level. It if there was a guy born to play a character, Hellboy's just kind of this nice everyday kind of guy who's just kind of tired of your bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question, by the way.
Oh.
That was sent in to us via the emails.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
So this is from Joshua Cascio? Spider-Man Prime. Hey, Andy and Mikey, it's your boy Spider-Man Prime. I've got a question that isn't about Pokemon or furries.
Oh.
Why are we even bothering?
Those are the only questions we take now.
Where are my Scottish memes? Where are my sexy wolf people?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mocking you if you're a furry. That's fine. But, you know, we opened up the question section today with sexy wolf people.
We did, yes.
And, like,
and you actively went searching for them, which you didn't have to do.
Far too much scrolling.
Yes.
The question is, if you could direct a Godzilla movie, but your only task is to include a non-Toho kaiju, which one would you use to face the king himself? Thank you for the question. And BAMF!
Yes, thank you for asking. I'm trying to think. I don't know of many non-Toho kaijus, to be honest. I know of Gamera. And, what was it? The Geist? Is that what they were called that you fought?
Oh, Gaios.
Yeah. So I unfortunately I probably have to... No, No, I don't know if they're Toho. Do you remember the two giant monkey things that weren't monkeys? They're like humanoids that fought each other. Gargantua. There you go.
They were Toho.
Oh, never mind then. Fuck off.
But they apparently, like, Mike Doherty, the director of Godzilla, said he'd like to do a version of them.
Would they look shit?
Hopefully.
Because if they made them look good and legit, you've failed.
Saw him do a con. Where apparently he basically spent like an hour afterwards signing posters for people and didn't charge anyone a penny.
Oh really? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But like the guy knows his shit.
Oh, that's really cool.
Like
him.
You don't casually drop War of the Gargantuas into a comic panel.
No.
No. But no, he was just apparently like people were getting a credit card ready to pay and he was just like signing posters for them and signing anything and just like, yeah, have fun, go, have fun.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Liked it. Like again, it just like, hey. Look! It's someone who casually gives a shit. Like the anti-Transformers experience. But yeah, who'd be a good match? Because you got the Japanese one, so Gamera's the obvious one.
Does it have to be Japanese ones?
Oh, I'm gonna go beyond.
Okay.
You got. Oh man, I'm gonna go terrible first of all. The emoji from D Wars.
The emoji.
Remember Dragon? Did you see Dragon Wars?
I don't think so.
So this is a Korean movie. The animation's done by Weta, so it's actually quite well done. But it's a really, 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 really bad movie about a giant. Like there's a species of giant magical cobras.
Yeah.
Called Emoji, and some are good and some are bad. And a bad one wants to take powers and turn himself into a dragon. And there's a girl, and she dies, and the good one becomes a dragon, and then it kicks the shit out. The monster bits aren't bad, to be honest. Although it's basically just two snakes bashing each other's heads off the ground. But, yeah, that would be fun. That would be kind of fun. What is a good... Oh, what's it called?
The Giant Claw.
Oh, yeah!
Get the Giant Claw, and he also needs to look shit.
Yes, well done, Andy. Fine choice, sir.
Were you thinking of the Giant Claw as well?
Yeah, I was trying to remember its name.
Yeah, I was looking online for it. I was like, what is this fucking bird's name? If you don't know what the Giant Claw is, it's a 1957 movie. You need to look at images of the puppet that they use for this, or the whatever you want to call it, animatronic. It's not animatronic.
It's a puppet.
Yeah. Oh boy, it is a thing to behold.
Yep. What else? You could have the Kraken or something from Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh, that'd be neat. Wouldn't he be small though compared to Godzilla?
Well, to be fair, so are most things.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I suppose also depending on which Godzilla, I guess, right?
Hang on, give me a. Let's.
I don't think we need to do size comparisons between Godzilla.
No, I'm just gonna check out giant monster movies, see if there's any that were popping up. You're gonna do like Meg from the Megalodon movies. That could work. It's a big shark.
Not if it was on land.
No, like true.
That would be a really unsatisfying fight.
Clover from Cloverfield.
Oh,
yeah.
I never liked the monster in that though.
Oh no, I don't like I think the Cloverfield movies are. Well, the Cloverfield movie is bad.
Yeah.
Like 10 Cloverfield Lane is decent, but
yeah.
There's because like in the Netflix one that turned out to be like a sneak. Oh, it's Cloverfield sequel. They have like a clover monster shows up at the end. It's like big enough that its head pops into the clouds.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that. I think I saw a clip of that and went to that.
Yeah. And it looked pretty terrible, to be honest. And I'm still like Godzilla would still kick its ass.
Yeah.
Because the guy's been hit.
Could you throw in an Ultraman?
I think you could throw in like Ultras are Subaraya owned, so they're not Toho.
And I mean Toho have a kind of not Ultraman, if I recall right.
Yeah. There's Toho had a few not Ultramans, I think.
Yeah.
There's a couple like Daimajin, who's like this giant. Like they did a TV series a while ago, Daimajin Canon, and there's a movie for it as well. And it's this giant like stone statue.
Oh, I was gonna ask if it was the robot that had the head that looked like a sphinx.
That's Giant Robo.
Oh. No.
Which also had a Toku.
Okay.
But there's one. Oh, what's its name? Oh, this. I remember the evil monster in it, but I'm trying to remember the good monster in it.
What was the evil monster called?
Arachi. It's there were a couple of movies based on the Arachi story. Yeah, okay. Tamano Arachi, however you pronounce that. and it was because it was like a sort of god comes to life and fights it. Susanoo. That's it. It was the movie is just Arachi. Okay. But yeah, it fights like a sun god or something in this. Yamato Takaru. That's the name of the movie. But yeah, and it fights a kind of like what if an 8-headed serpent looked kind of just basically like Ghidorah.
I was going to say, that sounded like you said multiple-headed serpent. I was like, oh, Ghidorah, you mean?
Yeah. Well, like, I remember in GMK, they were saying, like, oh, Ghidorah is a baby one. Well, that's small, like, ass-kicked Ghidorah.
Right.
Not gigantic 3-headed gets his ass kicked Ghidorah.
What about Ghidorah that then becomes, like, a bipedal alien? Oh, no, it was the other way around, wasn't it? It was a bipedal alien that became King Ghidorah. That's right. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Technically, it was 3 bipedal aliens that became King Ghidorah.
Was it 3? Whatever.
No. Okay, so you got Monster X, which is 1 bipedal alien. Then you have the Heisei era, which is 3 bipedal aliens.
Right, okay.
No, they're 3 bipedal little mutant thingies from the future. This makes perfect sense in some circles.
I'm sure there's a vast amount of the audience that are just like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Final Wars, bitch.
Yeah.
Also Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla versus King Ghidorah, but mostly Final Wars. Where just Monster X is a weird design.
Yeah. Oh, very.
Oh god. Oh, we could go like really old school. What's it called? Oh, it's like this weird British one. There's a British kaiju monster from like the 60s.
Is there? Yeah.
Yeah. Gargantua, I think it's called.
That sounds familiar.
Because it's like a story. They kidnap a baby, and it turns out it's a really big baby. And like, but it's not Gargantua. What's her name? British kaiju movie.
What about Attack of the 50-Foot Woman? You up the scale of the woman, and you just have a woman kicking the shit out of Godzilla.
I'd be up for that. And it's ace. Gorgo. The movie I'm thinking about is called Gorgo.
Okay.
But yeah, I would absolutely be up for a movie where just like this gigantic woman like that would be an ultra fight.
Yeah.
But she still needs to be wearing the bikinis and everything else. She can't have dignity.
No.
But she needs to be like oh no. This is getting better in my head. Like 50-foot woman, but it's a Japanese version, and she needs to be like doing that really weird thing that, hey, it's a woman in Japanese media. She's not really strong, but look at her try to be strong and hit someone. And she goes, kee, and does no damage.
Oh, I thought you were going to... Not like Hinata from Kamen Rider.
No, but like Godzilla has to have that moment where he's like there must be a beat where he's like, nothing happened, but he's feeling so sorry for her, he flies backwards.
Oh, man.
But no, not like Hinata. That would be a different thing.
So she breaks Godzilla.
Oh, that's it. There we go. We have it, Andy. Just Hinata comes in, accidentally... like kicks Godzilla in the shin as it explodes.
Oh god. Yeah, the bones poking out from the side of Godzilla's leg.
Yeah. You could also do like Attack on Titan if you're going to be like that.
No.
But I would, because I want to see them to get squished.
Yeah, I can't imagine it would end well.
Well, no, like I saw, like after Attack on Titan came out, it was just like, I remember someone going like, the Colossal Titan could beat Godzilla. And because it was always like, versus fights were... No, he couldn't, because one, he weighs like, I think he weighs like a couple of 100 tons.
I'm guessing Godzilla weighs a bit more.
90,000.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Like, I remember one thing of just like, how much, like the kaiju in Pacific Rim, they were like 5,000 or 6,000 tons.
Jesus, how fucking hefty is Godzilla? Holy crap.
Hefty. Oh, no, I have it. The ultimate fight. Godzilla versus the ultimate kaiju. Gamagori.
Ever changing in size.
He's always bigger than you.
That could be fun.
I saw a great Attack on Titan thing with that.
Yeah.
Which is the Colossal Titan leaning over a wall and Gamagori is just staring back at him. I'm gonna see if I can find that. Oh dear.
And while you do that, I think that might be a time to wrap up the show, Mr. Mikey.
Yes, I think once I'm onto looking for funny memes, we've done our duty.
Oh, that's right. So Mikey, where can people find you on the internet, sir?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paler. You can find me on YouTube as EvilFee3. If you have any feedback you'd like to give us, guys, we'll have it on Twitter, Facebook. You can send us an email, themoonbase2@gmail.com. If you're on Patreon, you can send us something there. We'd be happy to have it. And yeah, that's me saying things.
Cool.
Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter as CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums. We're on Twitter, we're on iTunes, we're on Facebook, we're on Libsyn, we're on YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. And you can head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2. If you do $2 each month, you get the extended version of From the Files of Teletran 2. And you also get it a week early, and you also get a free episode of the Moonbase Woo Woo, which is on anything we want, pretty much, in detail.
Yep.
And you can also head over to ccbunker.weebly.com to see all that stuff as well, if you like. Oh, yeah. Yes, I have seen that image, Mr. Mikey. So that's us done then, Mr. Mikey. Nice to have you back.
Uh-huh.
And depending on what happens, the podcast might go up on Monday or it might go up on Tuesday. I'd like to see some human beings, as it's been a while. So if it doesn't go up on Monday, was it nice?
They kept on complaining I was in their bathroom. But...
Oh well, you know, was it your sister?
Someone's sister.
Oh no.
There is actually like someone doing a video on could Gamagori be Titans? Yes, is the answer to that. Like anyone in Kill la Kill could. Mako fucking could. They're not that tough. I remember